Well, good evening, gentlemen, and thanks for joining in this experimental online recording using new technology called the internet. I am Mr. Q. With me, as always, but not actually with me, is Andre, Neil,
Virtual salutations.
and Niku. I don't know if that's
Is
where
it?
Niku is on your screen, but that's where he is on my screen.
Yeah.
So, guys, the reason we are gathered here in cyberspace together is because there's two bits of news that are too exciting for us to wait, and we need to get this news out there, and we want to tell everyone about it, and it calls for celebration. So I have got my preferred glass here with some excellent Patron Reposado tequila on the
petrol,
rocks.
basically.
Andre, what have you got there?
I've got a mint mojito with some real mint in there.
Very exotic.
Very festive and Hawaiian.
Neil?
I have tea. I'm very boring on a Thursday.
How very gardens of you.
Very gardens. Is it an organic lapshang souchong?
Yeah, I'm taking. I was, as you said, like the reason why we're late is because I got preoccupied doing some laps. So I'm trying to stay focused.
Fair enough. You should actually try and have a drink, because with sim racing it's safe. You can do it, and you'll find
exactly.
that there's like a perfect level of buzz where you have just that
Gives
little
you
bit of
enough
extra confidence, and you go for the
But it's
gap
a
that
slippery
doesn't
slope.
exist.
Yeah.
And
But
promote.
that edge is very sharp though. There's a very thin line between that extra confidence going into the wall.
And completely ruining your iRacing safety rating.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just to clarify, we don't promote drinking and driving, kids.
No, we
But it's okay,
absolutely
understood.
condemn that. Niku, what have you got there?
I've got a bourbon.
Nice. Lekker. Well, gents, enough dilly-dally. This is...
Your hop is done.
Say what?
No? Your hop is done.
No.
Well, the day that happens, normal programming will be paused, and on SABC1 there will be a special bulletin stating that the hopper is done.
Special episode of Isidingo will air.
Yeah.
Okay, I know Trump's president and everything, but words still hurt, man.
It's okay.
Okay, so
We still
seriously
like
though, we do have some exciting news, and a while ago we mentioned on the podcast that we had submitted an intention to enter for the Simola Hillclimb in Knysna for 2025. Niku, you want to tell them?
Well, we've got the entry. I mean, there's not much more to say, but we've got the entry, and it's with a
For the
freaking cool
Supra.
car. With the Supra, which is not finished,
So-
but we've got the entry with the
So
Supra.
our partially finished Supra is officially entered into the Simola Hillclimb. And for those that don't know, I mean, we genuinely cannot tell you how exciting this is, because Simola is a very, very prestigious motor racing event. And it's not just anyone and everyone who gets entry to this. And we are honored and excited that we are going to be on the starting line and racing up the hill for reals.
Yeah. So,
It's Friday, right?
On Classic Friday,
So here's parts of the Supra, by the way, for those wondering. We've got many a part.
It's a bit like one of those IKEA furniture sets, and we've still got some bits
Yes.
left over. Like, okay.
It's like Build-A-Bear, but for a JDM car.
Best Build-A-Bear.
Yeah. So, because we've kind of all decided, and I think it's become kind of obvious over the last few episodes, the Supra is kind of Niku's car. It's his baby. He's been spannering away on it. I think you were probably there tonight as well, weren't you?
Not tonight, but the night before, and the night before, and the night before, and the night before, and
Many
the night
nights.
before.
Yeah. So much blood, sweat, and tears has gone into that car thus far.
Physical
And-
blood as well.
Physical
Physical
blood as
blood.
well. And
You've seen my head trauma.
and yeah, so I was just about to say some head trauma and a mild concussion. But because it's your car
Neil, I'm getting
and
seasick, bro. Neil is like, yes, seasick.
Neil's gone Godzilla on us, but anyway,
Just give me a sec, yeah. Oh, sorry.
because it's your car, and as much as we hate to admit it, you're probably the fastest driver out of the four of us.
No,
Yeah.
Neil is. Definitely Neil is. If the amount of driving he's been doing, Neil is.
Well, that's an unresolved topic between the four of us. There will be an opportunity.
We'll see on
one day.
Wednesday. We'll see on Wednesday how fast Neil is.
Here we go. Here we go.
That sounds like a challenge, but anyway, Niku's going to be driving the Supra up the hill, and we will all be there as support crew, basically swinging spanners in the air without a clue what we're doing, but we will be there. And yeah, I'm genuinely excited to see the Supra go up the hill.
Some of us may be racing up the hill as well, but
some of us
we have
maybe.
not heard back. We have not heard entries.
So yeah, I think we should also clarify. So basically, we've entered the Supra in the H8 Classic Car Friday class, which I'm not very good with those classes. And I remember having a long chat with Neil, because Neil is the only experienced Simola Hillclimber out of the four of us. But we were chatting and we said, well, let's go for H8 because obviously the car's a race car. It's not roadworthy. It's gonna have a cage. It is stripped out. Neil stripped it out properly for us. So it kind of falls under the racing class, and then I believe H8 is inline 6, V6, and 2 liters. So I think it's all of those, but up to 2 liters, which the Supra falls into perfectly. And then our other driver in this chat might be driving the actual King of the Hill, not Let's Go Friday, but we'll see if we get the news back.
Put in an entry. So I made clear my intention to enter, and now I'm just waiting to hear back whether they want me to actually enter it.
Please tell me you entered the RAV into the SUV class.
Next year.
No, actually, that's fair enough, because we're going to need a tow vehicle for the Supra, aren't we? So
there's a very nice reference, by the way, Andrea. You probably saw it already, because quite a few years ago, I believe, Car Magazine or
Top Car.
They actually, when the 4C just launched in South Africa, they drove a 4C, and I actually watched that video quite recently.
So late Dion Skuman drove it. Sorry? It was pretty good. It was the late Dion Skuman was the driver. Yeah, it was pretty quick.
That's a nice benchmark to aim for.
Yeah, you've got a time to beat.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Not that many Supras have gone up there.
Well, what do you think is going to be the sort of realistic time actually we can... Firstly, the Supra, maybe we just look at this. What needs to be done on the Supra first before it can actually...
Yeah, I mean, we need to actually sit down and make up a to-do list for this car, because there is quite a lot to do.
Yeah, okay. Essentially, what we need to do is I need to strong arm Sean into giving me a price for his seat that is stored in the corner of the workshop. I need to go buy harnesses. But the biggest job of all of the interior is I need to build a roll cage, which has started. So the roll cage needs to be done. All safety inside needs to be done. So that is battery location. That is securing a fire extinguisher. That is your harness. That is your seat. Put it on a proper steering wheel. Getting the dash back in. And then making door cards. So that is on the inside what needs to happen.
Then just to clarify, that roll cage, it's not a roll cage that's being bought somewhere and that's being altered into the car or anything. This is being built from the ground up, basically just pipes.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of pipes, and then it's going to be Nico with some helpers and some experts, and you're going to do it yourself.
Yep. So me and Steven, basically Steven is the master when it comes to roll cages. He's done it millions of times. So he's kind of guiding me through everything, what to do, how to plan it out, because it's a lot of planning. You can't just move a roll cage once you've bent it. It's kind of in place. So you need to really, really have it properly, or really do it properly. So yeah, so I mean, that's the inside. So it's basically inside we need safety. And then on the outside, we need to put the windscreen on. I would really like to, when the roll cage is in, just also spray the cage. And there was 2 or 3 rust spots that we did find on the inside of the car, not big, like this size, that I would like to see if we can just either cut it out and weld in plates and spray the floor, spray the roll cage.
Weight saving.
Weight saving. Maybe master panel beaters can help us out there. I mean, they quite good at that, so maybe we have enough time to take it there. But yeah, that's basically the interior. Then for the exterior, as I said, the window needs to go in, but we're leaving it out since we're going to be welding and bending and whatever there, leaving that kind of to the very last, since it's kind of giving us some space. I've got an oil leak on the turbo drain line. Has got a small oil leak that needs to be fixed. Then we need to wire up all the sun plugs, the oil caps, everything that can twist basically needs to be wired up. We need to do a fuel fluid change on the engine, gearbox, diff. And I would like, if time permits and budget permits, to either see if we can get a not too expensive set of coilovers, or because I almost spoiled something here. I think the shocks is fine, but I would like the car to sit a little bit lower. It's kind of sitting, looks like it's on stilts. So just to get that center of gravity a bit lower, and a bit stiffer, because it's a heavy car, right? And it was built for GT driving. So hucking it into a corner is going to be a bit loose, but yeah, it might be a little bit soft. So if we can just up the spring rate and get it a bit lower, I think then we sorted. But yeah, the most important
budget becomes
part
a problem. If budget does become a problem, I've got a bottle of brandy and a grinder, so we could always, chop the coils a bit. Just.
I feel you. I like that.
Blowtorch them, just squeeze them.
Yeah.
Very Mitchell's Plain of you.
Stance boys will be happy to see that.
We have to rep Cape Town, so
Mm-hmm.
So there is a substantial list, but I don't think it's unsurmountable to get it to the start line. I mean, at the rate that we've been going.
Yeah, it should get to the start line. It's just the roll cage that's kind of the biggest hurdle, because I mean that takes time. From there,
there is one other little thing.
Yeah, so
we should probably check if it actually runs and drives.
Oh yeah, done. Don't worry about that.
And that's the other announcement. The car runs and drives. I can't freaking believe it. You did this without us, but it runs and drives and stops and turns and does everything. It is an car.
Listen,
makes a beautiful noise.
Yeah, after like fighting with you about NS1 in a fucking fuel tank, I couldn't control myself anymore once that fuel tank was in. And then I remembered, oh, Nikki, you bent a pipe, you halfwit. And I had to fix that as well. But once that was in, I was just like, I can't just wait. I can't just wait. I have to drive this thing. I have to see if it works.
Well,
you put in lots of time into that.
You sent us videos of the car running and driving. It sounds insane. I mean, it genuinely sounds brutal.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. You can really hear the turbos. It sounds very healthy. And then obviously you and I removed the exhaust basically from the downpipe back, so it's pretty much open. But it sounds beautiful. I think it sounds really good.
Sounds nice. So I've been having a look at how to build what they call a boom pipe. I don't know if you guys know what a boom pipe is. So basically,
it sounds like a drifting thing.
It sounds like something where some recreational medicinal things going.
It's an Afrikaans.
I
It's
got
called
the
the
boom
boom.
pipe, man.
You just call it
You
boom
just
in
take
Afrikaans.
one puff and it goes boom.
Nee, this, it's not boom, it's boom.
Yeah.
Boom pipe.
So essentially, that's what the older generation NASCARs had with that side exit exhaust that's about yay long and like flat.
Nice.
After having a good discussion with Neil somewhere during I don't know what about liveries, it was kind of like the entire direction the car has gone is kind of like Group A, which the car has raced in back in the days where they raced in Bathurst in the 80s or whatever. And the what Fujisima? What's those
Fujishima.
camera brand for Fujitsu,
Fujitsu.
or whatever the hell?
Fujitsu.
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 Yeah. The
Blue and white.
Fujitsu the Fujitsu Mark III Supra had essentially one massive ass boom pipe coming out of the side on the driver's side door. And I kind of think after hearing it, I kind of think that's a move.
Yeah,
It
I
has
think
to
we
be
can
the
do
move,
that.
man. Side pipe is, if you can do side pipe, you should.
Yeah. And what is cool about the design of the Supra, everything brake line, fuel line is on the passenger side. So everything runs on that side. And then on the driver's side, there's essentially nothing. So you're not going to melt anything important there,
That's
which is quite
ideal.
cool. Yeah. So it's kind of begging to have a side pipe added to it.
Gonna be quite
I mean,
nice and warm under the buttocks.
I didn't think of that, I must admit. But
that will be worth it. A boom pipe burn on your calf is going to be worth a nice picture going up Simola and a nice big flame coming out the side.
And remember,
Fair play.
Simola's in winter, and there's a good chance that it's going to be raining. So it's going to be nice and toasty inside. You can take the
Nice.
motor
Actually,
out,
one of
and
the
you've got a
things
pipe under you.
that's actually one of the things that we've also been discussing a little bit like during the week is what is the sort of, because when I heard the car, I messaged Nico and I said, Nico, I think this thing's going to be a lot quicker than it sounds. A lot quicker.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's going to be very quick. We had this sort of discussion like, what tires do you run? Because his class is going to be running in permits semi slicks.
Yeah.
You can run something like that. So I said, well, I think what Nico was like, the outcome was, so like, let's, whatever the shakedown proves, if you get to a point where you're going out, and I said to him like, listen, if you go out on an outlap of Killarney and you already feel like you're over the limit, literally then yeah, maybe it's time to upgrade,
slicks,
to look at something a little bit better. Or on the contrary, if you put semi slicks on, you go out and there's no heat in the tires, it's no point in running that in Simola either.
Yeah.
Because it's a road, it's a slowly deteriorating public road, basically.
So I've kind of thought about what is the most important part of Simola, and I've come to the conclusion that we're gonna have to practice burnouts.
Yeah.
We can't have a bad burnout for the crowd. Come on.
No, but you actually do need the burnout in order to get some heat
For
in
the
there.
heat.
And so what you actually, because I was thinking about the same thing, what you basically need to do, you're right, Neil, is you need to start from the pit lane and just do a flying lap from lap one. From the first corner, you have to gun it and kind of feel it through that, because that's exactly how it's going to be.
Yeah.
You're going to have, no heat into the tires. You can spin it a bit, and then you're going to have to build the heat through the corners. So they're never going to be really hot unless you get to right.
Yeah, basically Killarney turn 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, because you're not going to use the brakes. The funny thing is, it's got like the one of the benefits of the cars, it's got proper brakes on now. Which
You're not going to use them.
It's going to be useful on one corner, and that's turn 2 at the top, and that's it. Plus, you've got like massive gravity working against you, the sort of slope, or with you, or for you at that point in time too. But it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be interesting. I hope I let no one down, but we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm just honestly excited to ride in the car, and it's kind of a bittersweet pill because we had the discussion and it's still a bit like So unfortunately, without the date falls with lemons, we kind of in a spot of we finally got this entry, right? And I've been trying to enter for a long time. Neil, even after going, you've been trying to enter for a long time, and
still trying to enter.
You still try. So entries to Simola doesn't just happen. It's really, as Quentin said, it is quite a prestigious event, and they are smart in the way they do it, because it's obviously you need to. It's one of the one of the biggest live streamed events motorsport wise, I feel like, in South Africa. So the better part of it is yeah, Lemons is literally the weekend before that. We will probably, for Classic Car Friday, need to already be trailering up on Wednesday or Thursday.
We're going to have 3 days after we are done, basically, with, it's going to be
Lemons. Yeah. So which is fine if nothing breaks. So if everything runs perfect, it's fine. But the issue is, it's going to be essentially that car's got a good more than a month left to get it sorted, in my opinion. And then it's essentially a few weeks, then it's Lemons, and then an extra week, and it's Simola. So you're kind of going in with an untested car, and yeah, it sucks, man, because I really wanted to do the Lemons, but with a prestigious.
That was kind of the reason for the car in the first place, right?
Exactly. But maybe.
Well, I think what we need to do is we need to either speak to Marcel and see if we can bring back El Gringo, or we need to make another plan for Lemons. But yeah, I agree. I don't think we can race the Supra in Lemons and then a week later take it to Simola. It's just too much of a risk to go to such a prestigious event with a car that's just been killed on a 9-hour endurance race.
So the problem is also that there was some changes to the dates and stuff. And I mean, we were notified within the past week that this is the new date for Lemons. So Lemons was going to be middle April, and then it got moved to March, and now it's end of April.
Yeah.
So we couldn't have planned around it.
Here's what we actually need to do. We somehow need to really kick ass at Simola and get many sponsors. Because then what we do is, after Simola, we take the Supra up to Joburg and do the 24-hour. So if we can somehow get funding to do that, because I mean, afterwards, it's not like I'm going to spend millions on the car. It's still going to be a budget-ass race car because I don't have more money. So it's going to run Clubmans and fine cars. I spoke with one of the scrutineers,
Sports
and I told
GT?
him, Sports and GT.
Going to race with that?
Yeah. So I spoke to one of the scrutineers. I told him, listen here, what license will permit me to do anything? And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, so this is the car. This is what we want to do. I need one license for everything. And he said, I know what you need, but it's not on the website. Let me get back to you. And then after like a few minutes, or it was like 30 minutes or so, he said, sorry, I'm quite busy, chap, but get the Western Cape Clubman's Circuit regional license and you can do anything you want. I'm like, good, let me do that.
One license to race them all.
There we go.
So, I mean, it's a bit sucky, right, that one would now miss Lemons. But I think on the other side, the Lemons was kind of like, the birth of this idea of Definitely. Where the Supra kind of like planted the seed for you guys and to come from. So I think, although it's not, that's kind of like the origin story of this whole thing. So, it's by no means like, I think, a thing of like saying like, listen, you're shoving the one down to go to do the other. It's just an opportunity that's come up. And as the scrutineer told you, Nico, like with Simola, they were saying like, that's actually quite an interesting car. And that's the whole point of Simola, is you get a shot to do it. Next year, they might feel like we don't want to invest in Martin Supra there again. So when the opportunity arises, you take it. But it's one of those things.
Definitely.
Well, we're a long way away from saying we're missing Lemons, right?
No.
Probably not going to do Lemons with the Supra, but I will not,
completely kill the idea of doing Lemons.
Exactly. We should find a way.
Yeah, let's rephrase.
Yeah.
Supra will not be in the Lemons event in Killarney, at Killarney.
But also, I think
one.
I think that a lot of people will cast shade in our direction if we do take the Supra to Lemons, because even though it does fall well within the Lemons budget, no one's going to believe that that's a 55 grand car, because it just isn't.
Nah, that's fine.
But yeah, that's fine. We'll work around that. Guys, just sort of to tie up and finish off, I think there's a couple of things that need to be said. First off, I think we've said it before, but it can never be said enough. Huge thank you to Steve for hosting our build. He has basically just opened up his workshop for us, and the car is there. We can go in and work on it. We've got tools. We've got equipment that we couldn't dream to afford.
We've got knowledge.
We've got
That's
knowledge.
something you can't buy. That's something you can't buy or get anywhere else.
Exactly. I mean, we cannot thank Steve enough for all that he's done to help us get this far and for what he continues to do. We need to thank Code Pure for making it all possible. We need to thank, by association, Niku for bringing Code Pure into this. And we need to thank Niku on a personal level, because Niku's been spannering harder than any of us on this car. And we would not have this car if it wasn't for your efforts. So huge thanks to you, buddy. Who am I leaving out here? There's got to be others. We have some exciting brand news coming up that I don't want to break just yet. It is official, so we can probably announce it, but we kind of want to do it with the guys that are involved with it.
Eagle-eyed social media followers would have spotted it.
Yep. You may have seen it already, but we are officially brand ambassadors for Mystery Company, so they will be thanked as well. Yeah, and thanks to everyone watching, because, you know, at times with stuff like this, we sort of feel like, fuck it, I don't feel like spannering, or I don't really feel like going and doing this. But we did kind of say in the last video that we would, so now we kind of have to, because people are expecting it in the next video. So thanks to you guys for watching, because it's also a huge driving force behind getting things done and getting the car going. And if you guys weren't watching, I mean, the four of us probably wouldn't be even considering building a race car together, and yet here we are. So yeah, I mean, this is
an car.
A year ago, we were four guys sitting in my studio talking shit, and now we're going to one of the most prestigious racing events in the country. It's unreal.
2 years ago, we actually kind of got together for the first time.
Yeah.
To go to the event.
2 years
That's
ago,
where the idea started.
I want to say 2 years ago is where induction always started. Kind of.
Yeah, it's 2 years
with this exact trip.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
With the goal of going racing, right? That's kind of like what I think we took away from that first trip as well. It's like we want to come back. It would be cool to come back, the four of us together, and compete at the event.
And I'm actually getting teary-eyed, and it's not.
It's also going to be really cool to go back to Simola, because it's like every year that we go back, we're taking things from a different perspective. The first year that we were there purely as spectators, and we were goofing around and just having a jaw. The second year, we were there kind of documenting and filming and podcasting and
going up the hill with Mercedes AMG.
Going up the hill with Mercedes AMG and talking to people that we had no business interviewing. But we just shoved the microphone in their faces and started talking. And
so we'll be doing more of that, by the way.
We'll be doing more of that. And now this year, we're going back as a racing team.
With Racing Cloud, because we're there to compete.
And we need to actually have the mic working for Ernest. Ernest, if you're watching this, I promise we'll have backup mics.
Ernest Page, we will come and look you up and specifically have an interview with you.
We'll hunt you down.
And Reggie as well.
And Reggie.
Be there, we'll have an interview with you again.
And I want to... Sorry, Neil.
I think we're like no. Like I was just about to say, like, you know, we're focusing, but I think we should also definitely, probably not for this episode, but there's a lot of other cool events, you know, with this, like, you know, we're involved in. We've already attended one of our other members here. I don't know if we should disclose that already, but an event, people would have seen it on social media. We're already out at Killarney. Let's say Team Induction Noise has already been on main circuit. So there's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of feedback from our other racing, from a variety of racing activities this year, I think. So
and I'm going to force you all to go drifting.
As long as I don't have to take the Z, I'm fine.
So yeah, I mean,
there's a very important sim racing event this coming Wednesday, I believe.
A challenge has been laid down.
Gauntlet has been set.
I can probably join in on that, can't I? I'm old enough, can't I?
Yes,
sure,
you can.
Yeah, but I don't have all the iRacing content.
You just need to pay the entry fee and buy all the iRacing
stuff.
I rent.
No, I'm good.
I rented.
So yeah, guys, we're going to Knysna. We're gonna be racing, and it's still not really sunk in. I mean, it's just crazy that we've gotten this far from just talking crap in my studio.
Yeah,
it's
the crazy part about Simola as well is you see all of these guys like who was building a junior last year, Andre. Ashley Board, which basically had a shell of a car like 1 month before Simola. We're kind of the Ashley Board of last year, just a bit further on, but it's kind
with
of like
the JDM Ashley. But yeah, so just finally, this video, obviously, because of us wanting to get this news out there, it's a little bit of a spoiler alert because you're going to now see video clips of the car actually driving, whereas in the build series on YouTube, the car hasn't gotten to this stage yet.
No.
So things are a little bit out of sequence, but yeah, we're really excited about this. We wanted to let you guys know what's going on, and quite frankly, I couldn't keep it to myself anymore, so we had to tell you guys what's going on. And yeah, thanks again to you guys. Sorry, I'm pointing at you on my screen. I have no idea if it lines up on your screen, but that's Andre, that's Neil, that's Niku. I don't know if that lines up with anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for joining in on this. And I guess we're going to have to make a plan to spanner some more over the next coming weeks.
Yep.
Because we've got a car to build.
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday for anyone wondering.
Cool, guys. But have a good night. And thanks for joining us. And if you want to get the latest on what's happening with the Supra build, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. And
smash the subscribe button.
That, I've been told we need calls to action. Smash it! And we will see you guys in the next one. Until then, stay classy.
Stay classy.
Stay classy, San Diego.
And do laps before Wednesday, Andre.
Yes.
Pop up
I don't know. Cheers, dude.
Okay.